Good afternoon, everyone. It is August the 3rd, the first trading day of 2015, working towards the second month of our third quarter. And the economic news that continues to dribble out does not show, for the most part, economic growth. It shows economic contraction. So, again, the issue is, when will the Fed raise interest rates? And the Fed says they're going to do it in September and October. The financial futures markets say the first quarter of 2016. And again, it's hard for me to see how they can raise interest rates without kicking off what they don't want, a big sell-off in the stock market. Okay, the first trade we took this morning was right in here, retest failure right there. Quickly got 2 points, then 3. And if you'd stayed with the trade, you'd have gotten 7 points without much of a fight. The second trade right in here, didn't take that one. This retest failure set up pretty nicely, and it produced a nice winning trade. Lots of B's. We got back, and this is the one we said, we put an order in and we said it is a mean green trade. Don't like it. We like the first time to the mean green trade, especially if it's taken out support or resistance. And this is a key point. You got to make new lows or new highs, because this is kind of like 50% retracement of the rest of it. Volume should hold. Took a while for the trade to develop. There were a couple of we got some help from the news eventually, but the market went down and we weren't able to take out 90 and hold it. Up to the top, a head and shoulders pattern. And listen, everybody says, oh, you can't see a head and shoulders pattern. It's one of the easiest to see as it develops. The problem for us as traders is we're probably going to take a retest failure, failed auction off of that bar right there. But this head and shoulders is very discernible, very easily to recognize. It almost always will have an S over it. And you can see right here that these 3 bars on the rally to give us the right shoulder didn't produce any volume. So really a good trade. Market spills and eventually gets down to a retest failure B. We talked about it in this area that it should give us a you don't get that kind of selling without a retest somewhere over in here, and we haven't retested that low. So here we said we're not getting much in the way of lift. We're looking definitely at a B. So summertime trading, this first move is the trade that we have to learn to take, so we have a chance of putting some money in the account. Otherwise, some days it's just dead. There's just nothing going on. If you only have a 6 or 7 point range in the E-mini, it's very difficult to consistently make money. Again, I said I hadn't found an article, a specific article to tie to the selling. It's today's weak economic news. Didn't get a ramp up into the close of the EU. I mean, who knows? What I will say is, what we say a lot, is that the macroeconomic news usually comes in below forecasts. And the only reason the market is hanging into the upside is because of central bank support. Okay, lower high, lower low. This screen makes us a seller. Looking at the F2 screen, does it confirm that? Yes, it does. I'm going to shrink these so we can get a little more history on the screen, back to 30 minutes. And you can see that volume moved down, and it's lower still. And then here in G period, we get a new move that starts lower. So it does point lower. 90 is a pretty clean break in the market. Last rotate up was 85. So selling failure to take out 85, 89. And we've got the high volume number at 88, so limit sell at 87 and a quarter, 88 and a quarter right here. As we come into Globex tonight, on the assumption that the market closes where it is right now, and there's no guarantee that it will. And then our 94, 96 for sell 2. On the buy side, 75, 77. It's a round number. And then our 69, 71. We have news tomorrow, factory orders, and it's called up 1.7%. This number could come in lower than forecast. There could be a disappointment there. So I'm comfortable with the short side, as you well know, because fundamentals do play a part in my decision. I'm one of these guys that likes to have a reason why. Just built that way, can't help it. And it makes me more comfortable backing those adverse moves that almost always come with when you put a position on it. Very rare trade just immediately goes your way. Some of them are there, but not often. Usually we end up slowly swinging or dangling in the wind for a little bit. Twisting in the wind, I believe, was the how they use it for politicians. Have the analogy of a rope up there, don't you? Okay, weakness in the E-mini, weak macroeconomic news. Everything kind of came into place to get this market to rally, and rally it did. The knob spread, if we look at this, has been really, really strong. I go to the longest line of letters. I split. You see this period 128.04, that London high. 128 even, so 28.04 will be pretty good resistance, and then that low 28.16 to 20 would be another one. Then we have the start of the distribution down from 29.16. So this market is moving up, and I'm gonna put this split there, this move out of the middle from the way down, and we'll do it like that. And the correct way would be to go right here to the N. Yeah, that might be a little late, actually. There you go. That's the correct distribution, the way we had it at first. So the note says it's going to trade higher. Is that confirmed by the F2 screen? I believe it is. And a lot of people, you said, oh, come on, Charlie, F1, lower high, higher low. That can't be all there is to it. There's more to it than that. Part of its context. But if you think about the dynamic that gives you a higher low and a higher high, it's more buying than selling, or more selling than buying. And then the issue becomes, can you take out support or resistance? So we want to get long, we want to get short to see if support or resistance can be taken out. On this screen, you can see that volume is moving higher in the distributions and higher yet. So selling failure to take out 28 to the buck. Then we had that resistance at 4 right there. So then second trade would be 3 to 7. On the buy side, we have the breakout from 20. We're at 26. Like to think we could get down to 21, so I'd really like to buy 17s to 21s. I have to put a question mark right here in this 23 area. 23, 24. That's a possibility. Then 9 to 13. Looking at the announcement made from the White House, 15 years to cut 32% of your carbon dioxide emissions. I mean, that even is going to pressure natural gas. And these are self-inflicted wounds. Another major coal company filed for bankruptcy today. This is purposely taking people out of work and employment. People can't sell their homes. If you go into a region or an area, I mean, I used to travel from California back to Appalachia, and cold would be popular and it would not be popular. And these people had no place to go. They couldn't sell their homes. They were tied. It really, really, really is tragic. And we're doing it to ourselves. Not good. And one of the things, now they want to prevent climate change. I mean, how in the hell can you prevent climate change? Back before there was man on the face of the earth, the climate changed. and it's always in a state of flux. It's always changing, and good people are losing their livelihoods over this. It's not right. Okay, again, a very, very strong market. The knob spread worked. This 21 to 25 area is an ideal buy. It's a long way away. At some point, the market will come back and retest 56.20. If it holds and starts out, it's a pretty strong market. Didn't quite make it to 158. So selling failure to take out 24 to 30 will be trade one. This thing doesn't hold on to this. I've changed this twice today. That is really, really interesting. Pass it on to Peter. So sell failure to take out 24.28. And make it the buck. Big as this contract is, and then sell 7s to 11s. Don't think we'll get to the second area in Globex. On the buy side, we broke it out from 157 even, then we extended up from 8. Last rotate down was 15. We know there's stops down here, so we're going to make 5 to 9 buy 1. May take a 13 to get in. Let them get stops beneath that 2-letter ledge right there. And then we'll make 25 to 29 for buy 2. I don't think we'll see our number 2 levels in Globex. Now, if you think about the opportunity that is presenting itself to you, good times or bad times, if you learn how to trade, you can prosper. If your whole community gets devastated by the loss of a major industry, because you can trade, you can still maintain your own and do it, and you're not jeopardized. There's a lot, you can do that. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you want to learn how to do this. And you can do this if you have the right personality, if you're a calculated risk taker. If you're not really a calculated risk taker, it's very, very difficult to do this. Jacob pointed out earlier today that patience is rewarded in this game. Let the market come to your levels. And you say, well, God dang, Charlie, I could be in a contract and I wouldn't trade. I might not be able to trade all day long. Well, watch a couple of markets. Watch the E-mini, watch the bond, watch gold, watch crude, watch the euro. Do something. Give yourself some flexibility. And out of those 3 markets, one of them is going to give you that setup that you really hope to take. Looking at gold, inside day. I mean, right here, looking at this, there's definitely a seller at 111 to 111.05. And there's definitely a buyer below 85, maybe 80. So 75 to 80 is support, 1100, 1105 is resistance, and it's an inside day, and that has trading range writ all over it. Looking at the F2 screen, it favors a test of support. So we've got pretty good support down here at 83. So this think we might go a little bit lower, so let's make 80, 82 buy 1. Let them get stops beneath that. We'll put a question mark at 83, and then 75, 77 for buy 2. And on the sell side, we started down at 90. We're at 86, so 88 to 90 for Globex sell 1. 93, 95 for sell 2. Looks like the market is going to try to test lower to me. But again, I don't think it's going to break. I put an article up, and the demand for physical will always be greater than the paper that's out there. But the COMEX holdings, there's 124 ounces of paper commitments for every 1 ounce of physical gold. Now, if you're in the fractional banking world, 2% plus some capital will hold you, but that's less than 2% of the physical to the paper. So if somebody gets the hell scared out of them, and this is probably what drives the central banks to bludgeon gold, I mean, the gold and silver market could absolutely explode. And in watching that, I mean, when you watch the physical and the commodity markets compared to the paper that's outstanding, it doesn't mean you're going to make money on that, but if you get a surprise piece of news that favors the upside, as in gold, because of the structure and the lack of physical and the rest of it, I mean, the explosive move where you could, you know, 100, 200, 300 bucks is to the upside, and quickly. I'm not saying the market's not going to sell and go down and retest the lows, but I don't think the bottom falls out of it like it does, like the top could come out in gold. Okay, crude, we've been talking for a couple of weeks below 45, and we're going to get that in the overnight, maybe tomorrow, and then we have this low back here at what, 42.50. Everybody in the industry is pretty content that we're going to retest these recent lows, but we've seen 45 coming, and I'm pretty content with that, and that started when we came out of this 55 area. Then it solidified when we took out 50, and we didn't get through 50 quickly. Took about 4 days to do it, so right now we're finally going to get to 45. So lower high, lower low favors lower prices tomorrow. Charlie, it can't be that easy. There is some contextual circumstances or conditions you have to put in on it. Got a B here. We got a new move in F period that came down. Got a very clean break in this 85 area. So 75 to the buck, sell one. Actually, let's make it 50 to 75. It's pretty damn aggressive, but that's where the market is. Maybe they'll get stops in London, and then 46, 46 and a quarter. On the buy side, stops below 45, so 44.75, 45 buy one, and then 44, 44 and a quarter buy two. If 45 changes from support to resistance, we're going to go get stops below 40 to 50. And we will play it that way. And looking at the euro, we like the short side of the euro. We view all rallies as opportunities to sell. Why? Because the European Central Bank and the European Union want the euro lower so they can increase exports outside of the European Union. So this 111 area, pretty good selling. We've had pretty good buying at 850. We're at 950 right now and look to be pointed lower. Inside day trading range. What does the F2 screen show us? Definitely a B. So we probably have a pretty good chance to test a little lower overnight. So our 25 area plus or minus by 1. 109 even by 2. On the sell side, 65 to 75, sell 1 will come just inside that, and then 90 to the buck for sell 2. So we're shading to the lower side on this contract. Hey, what a fabulous day we had. Good trading, the setups worked, no excuses for going home with a frown on our face. Well, what if I didn't take every trade? You're not supposed to take every trade. You're supposed to make your business plan. And your business plan is what your objective should be. So I'll see you bright and early in the morning, 6:45 Central. We've got a 95, 98 degree day, and we're supposed to be in the high 80s tomorrow, so we'll look forward to that, and a little moisture. Really, really green for this time of year around here. Helps the hay crops, the backgrounding of cattle. Well, thank you, Chuck. Y'all have a great evening. Later.